Hello and welcome back to RareRoo Crafts. I'm Sarah and today I am on to share with you how I've made these gorgeous little tassels. So I did get some comments on my Alice journal video that I did last month, and I'd made a cute little tassel that was hanging off of the spine of that book, and I had a few people reach out to me to ask how I'd made it. So I thought I would use this opportunity to show you how the tassel is made. So as you can see, I've got 4 really cute ones here. I've done a few different colour schemes. I've gone for a really lovely sort of autumnal colour scheme there. This one's just sort of creams and golds. Obviously we've got the purples with the beautiful bead that's got the maple leaf on the bead, and then I've got the black and white one there as well. So if you want to make these tassels, you're going to need a few bits and bobs. So firstly, some wire. So all the things, or most of the things that I'm using today, have come from BB Craft. They kindly sent me some stuff earlier in the month, and this is one of my videos for them. So the link to BB Craft will be in the description box below this video, along with the discount code, and any other information that you might need about BB Craft. They do an affiliate program, so if you've got more than 100 subbies on YouTube, you can go over and they will send you some goodies to have a play with. So I'll leave all the links for all of that in the description box. But I am using the 22 gauge or 0.6mm wire. I've got it in the antique bronze, and this is quite a thin and pliable wire, which is perfect for this particular craft. I've also got a selection of beads. So again, I've just picked out some that BB Craft have sent me over the time. I've got hundreds and hundreds of beads. You can use any beads that you've got. I like the look on my tassels of 2 smaller beads and 1 sort of chunkier bead. So again, I'll make sure all the links to all of these are in the description box. Bead caps or tassel caps. I've got loads of these in my stash, but I'm sure that you can get them from BB Craft. So again, I'll have a look and see if they've got anything similar, and I will put a link down below. But you're going to need 1 of those for each tassel, and then you're going to need a few tools. So you're going to need, I've used some round nose pliers, some chain nose. Now these are the mini chain nose. These are my favourite chain nose pliers because you can get a really good grip on them because they fit totally in the palm of your hand. I love these. I will link them below because they're brilliant. Some flush cutters, some wire snips, so there's those ones. I've also got these, which are actually, they're supposed to be toenail clippers. Obviously I don't use them for toenails. My mum sent them to me for Christmas for doing manicures and things, but I don't really do my nails, as you can tell. But they are perfect for cutting wire. So, and I think they were cheap from Home Bargains. So you could always use those as well. Nylon pliers. So these you don't need these. They make it slightly easier, but you don't need these. You can do it without them. But I do like to use those. You'll need a pair of scissors, and then you need some various different trims and things. So I've got loads of different things out of my stash. So I've got loads of different sort of eyelash type trims. I've got a load of the thin ribbons that you pick up from the pound shop. I've got a few different reels of these. These have lasted for ages. I bought them when Pound World was open, so those in the UK will know that that's quite a long time ago because that shop's been shut for a long time, and I'm still going. So I've got a few different ones of those out, and then I've just gone through my stash and picked out a few sort of thin laces and trims. I've got some wider gold ribbon. I've also got some yarn. So this is like a fluffy teddy bear yarn that I bought. I bought it to crochet with, and it's a pig to crochet with, so it ended up in my craft stash instead. This was some yarn that my mum gave me, which again, I wouldn't knit or crochet anything with it, but I do like the texture of that yarn, so I've kept that one in my craft stash. And then I've got some cord. That was just, again, just in my stash. And I've also got some embroidery floss. This is like a holographic embroidery floss. I bought a big bag full of embroidery flosses off of a car boot sale once for a couple of £. And they were all like brand new skeins of the metal effects, precious metal effects, DMC threads and things. So I do sometimes use them in cross stitch, but I don't do loads of cross stitch anymore. So I do sometimes pull them out for my crafts as well. So to get started, all I've done is I've taken, I've just got a piece of scrap card. So this is a piece of a cat food box, and I've just cut it to the length that I want my tassel to be, and mine are just over 7 centimetres. It doesn't matter too much about the width because you're going to bunch it all together anyway. You just want it to be, you know, a nice size for you to work with. And like I say, you can do this any size that you want. You just want to make sure that the length of your piece of card is the length that you want your finished tassel to be. And I do this just because it's a bit easier. The other thing that sometimes makes this a little bit easier is if you've got an elastic band, or this is like an plasticky elastic hair tie thing. It just makes holding everything together while you're doing your wire bit a little bit easier. So I'm going to start off by just picking at random some of the threads and ribbons and things that I've got in front of me. Obviously I'm going to make sure they all sort of match. So I'm going to put some of this ribbon, and I'm just going to wrap it around, making note of what my top is. So where that first turn is, so I've got it starting down the bottom here up to the top. This is going to be the top side. You could mark your cardboard so that you know where the top is, and just make sure that you always put your first sort of turn over the top there. That's just because when you come to cut it, you want all your cuts to be down at the same end. And if you've got anything, so with the laces and things, because I haven't got so much of that, I'll sometimes only put one strip of lace in. So obviously I want the top, the fold of that piece to be at the top of my card. So I'm just going to bung a few strips of that ribbon over the top, and then I'm just going to snip it at the bottom. It doesn't need to be exact, just somewhere at the bottom of that piece of card. And then I'm going to add in some of this nice yarn, and again I'm just going to give that a snip. And with each layer that I add in, I just sort of move my thumb and my fingers on the back so that I'm sort of holding everything, keeping everything held in place. So all I'm going to do is keep wrapping various different yarns and trims and things. I've got some of this gold, I think it's from a machining. I picked it up in a charity shop. I did pick it up in the creative reuse place. I can't remember, to be honest. But it's like gold foil, gold lame foil type stuff. But it's quite nice for this. It just adds a little bit of sparkle into the tassel. Although these some of these eyelash trims have got a bit of sparkle as well, which is nice. So I'm going to put a little bit of this gold sparkly one in as well. So what you've just got to be mindful of is that you don't put too much on, so that then when you come to put it into the bead cap, you've got too much to actually fit into the bead cap. So that's the only thing to just think about. So I'm just going to put one strip of the lace over the top there, because like I say, I haven't got loads of that, so I don't want to put too much in each tassel. Now, just to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to take my elastic band and I'm just going to catch all of those trims onto that piece of card. I'm now going to cut myself around about 6 centimetres, which is approximately 2.5 inches of wire. Again, it's not an exact science. It's just sort of there or thereabouts. Just move all of this out of the way. Okay. Now, I'm then going to take this piece of wire, and through the top part of my tassel, I'm going to thread the wire underneath all of those trims and out the other side, like that. And then I'm going to pull the long end up and then the short end up so that they're meeting and overlapping, like so. It's going to be quite hard to see, but the long piece is coming up there, and then the shorter piece is just overlapping it. And again, that's now sort of catching all of those trims together. So now I'm going to take my scissors, and just down the bottom, I'm going to give it a snip, like you would with a pom-pom, and just free all of those threads from the bottom. Take my band off and slip my card out. I'm now going to open up that tassel, so I've got one side on one in one hand and one side on the other, and I can now work on this wire again. So I'm just going to take that short piece of wire, and I'm going to push it. It's very, very pliable, this wire, so you can just use your hands for this bit, and I'm just going to push it round until it's nice and tight, and then I'm going to take my chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to give that end of that wire, oops, if I can get my pliers in place, a bit of a squeeze, just to keep all of those threads together like that. And then we pull that down like so. Now, if your wire has got a little bit bent out of shape, this is where you can use your nylon nose pliers and just give it a bit of a straighten up. It doesn't matter too much. You can as well use your fingers, because like I say, it is quite a nice thin gauge wire, and it is quite pliable. So now that you've got to this point, you want your bead cap. So you're just going to take your bead cap and slip that over the top of the tassel. So you want the ones that have got the hole in the top, so that your wire can come out the top of the tassel like so. And now I'm going to, with these types of bead caps, you can manipulate them a little bit so that they hug the ribbon and the tassels and the trims. But don't worry if it's not sitting all the way down. Once we get the beads on there, it will hold it in place. So I'm going to choose 2 of these little rondelles. These are little 4x6 rondelles. So I've got these lovely gold ones. So I'm going to take one of those, and then I'm going to choose one of my glass beads. So I've got all these lovely glass pearls, but I've also got these really beautiful frosted glass beads with the maple leaf. Now obviously, if your bead has got a right way up and a wrong way up, make sure you get it up the right way. And then I'm going to pop another one of the little rondelles, so we've got it looking like that, which is lovely. Again, I'm just going to straighten my wire out a little bit, only because I'm fussy, like that. Now I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm going to just make my little loop and wrap now. So to do that, I put my pliers right down against the beads and sort of give it a little pull on the beads, and then move my pliers up very slightly. Let me just see if I can get in shot a bit better. So you can see that there's a little gap between that top bead and where I'm putting my round nose pliers. And I'm going to push off to one side. Doesn't matter which side, just off to one side. The reason I've left that little gap is so that I've got somewhere to do my wire wrap once I get to that next stage. So now I'm going to push the wire up and over, and I haven't yet moved my pliers. I've gone up and over, and now I'm going to let go of my pliers, and I'm going to turn them so that they are up the other way. So when you finish, they're like that, and then you want to turn them so that you've got the empty one on the top and the one with the wire is on the bottom, like so. And then you're going to get hold of this wire. You can either do it by hand, or you can do it with your chain nose pliers. I've got sausage fingers, so I like to do it with chain nose pliers. And all you're going to do is take that strip of wire, and you're going to wrap it around the gap, the space between that top bead and where the pliers are holding your loop. And you just wrap that round as many times as you want. You want, you know, a good 2 or 3 wraps to keep it all secure. But however you want to make it look neat. And then you're going to take your little snips, and you're going to snip off that extra piece of the wire. And you can also go in with your chain nose pliers and just tidy that little end piece of wire up. And you can also go back in with your round nose pliers and just put your loop exactly where you want it. And there you go. Now you've got a really lovely tassel with a loop on the top that you can attach jump rings to. You can attach it to a chain. You can just put it on a lobster claw. You could hang them on your handbag. You could put them on pocket letters. You put them on journals. You know, there's no end to what you can do with these tassels, and they are super simple to make. And for most of us, we've got a lot of the supplies in our stash already. And there you go, that's it. Those are the ones that I've made this morning. I think they're really, really cute, and I think they'd make nice little gifts to send to people as well, with all your different interesting trims and things. So yeah, let me know if you have a go at making these tassels too. I hope that's been useful, especially for those of you that wanted me to do a quick tutorial on how I made them. So as I said at the beginning, most of the supplies were sent to me by BB Crafts. I will leave links to all of their stuff in the description box below this video. So if you do want any of that, do check it out, and don't forget to use the discount code, which will also be in the description box. So that's it from me for now. I hope to be back again soon in another crafty video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.